Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
Check 1, check 2, check 1, 2, 3, check 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear me now? It looks like I finally got it. Omaha 1, Gophers 1. Whoo, it sounds like some hockey here. That's not too bad at all this time of year. Okay, let me know with a thumbs up that we got sound check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. 1, 2, 3, square root of 16. All right, now we're talking weather. We got a lot of weather to talk about. Sorry about the misfunction there. I restarted the computer just before we started, and it apparently forgot my microphone setting. So live and learn. Hutch Johnson here. He mostly just lives. Let's take a look at what we have going on across the region right now with that radar. We have a lot to talk about. And on the radar, what we have going on in our area is a whole lot of, well, pretty quiet conditions. I'm sorry about that. Here we go. Okay, so we have temperatures around 30 in Fargo, 31 Grand Forks, uniform across the area as we head into the evening hours. Now, I showed the satellite loop here, and I'll mention what I was talking about. We have a developing system out to the west. It's starting to throw some clouds our way. And again, thanks so much, Tyler and Tim, for verifying that we have sound. Paul from Scobie, I think, says, hey, things are sounding a little bit better. Thanks, Betsy, for your thumbs up as well. So this cloud activity is going to lead to some morning showers and some slippery conditions here across our region to get our day going. And I wanted to point out what we can expect with regards to our forecast. And we do have the latest as far as the models are showing, but here is a simple look at what we're expecting. As we go into the midday hours, snow will be spreading across from central parts of the state and here into the Red River Valley, the Devil's Lake Basin, and our northern counties. Here in the south, we have a chance for some rain and some ice with this system. So keep that in mind. Some slippery roads in the morning out west, and that could spread eastward as we head into the midday hours. Now, how much snow are we talking about? This has not changed. It still looks like we're going to have a widespread area in blue here of 1 to 3 inches. So that's the potential with this system. And it does look like this heavier band of 3 inches or so could shift a little north or south. But that said, even with our weekend storm system, we see how much things can change. I do anticipate we could see a couple of pockets of 4 to 6 inches of snow as well, just because of the speed of movement of this system. And here is the area I've circled in pink where we have the greatest risk for some slippery nonsense making its way through. Here is a look at the model. This is the latest run update from what I showed you earlier tonight. Here you go. So if you're out there in good old Scobie, Montana, Paul, it does look like the activity is going to be starting there for you first. And let me get the model that goes with the most latest data. Here here it is. So if you're in Scobie, we're going to have some snow showers or some sprinkles working their way in. You get out into parts of western North Dakota, you start to see this area of pink developing. That area of pink there as we go into the overnight hours now. This is about, let's see, that's 2 a.m. So a little layer of possible icing taking place as temperatures fall tonight. That batch of snow will make its way from west to east across the region, and at this time frame here is about 11 to 12 in the morning. So as we go through our midday hour, the eastern third of North Dakota will start to see some snow, and that spreads into western Minnesota. And then as we get into the evening hours on your Friday evening, it does look like that'll change to or mix with a chance for some more ice in those southern counties. So let me show you what this model is showing with regard to the latest icing potential with the system. It doesn't look like it's going to be terribly bad because our surface temperatures here are not terribly cold, if that makes sense. So we could get some freezing drizzle. We could get some sleet. Here's a look at that freezing rain potential with this model run. And you can kind of see that things in the Southern Valley will have the best chance at seeing that as we work our way through. So again, there is an icing risk with this storm system as it does make its way into the area. Woo-wee. Good evening, Rita. Good to have you on board as well, Katie. Thanks so very much. I hope it don't snow on the old birthday on April the 8th. Oh, gosh, what a busy week that's going to be, huh? Okay, now let's take a look at some of the rest of our forecast information for you. Without further ado, let's talk about tomorrow morning. I anticipate temperatures that will be cold enough. If we do get some of that drizzle, it'll be freezing here in the eastern third of North Dakota. Temperatures closer to 32 degrees down in parts of central North Dakota for Bismarck, and out in Montana, it'll be milder by the time we get to those morning hours. That said, light winds, clouds increasing, and some snow spreading across the western part of the state, making things a little slippery out there for sure. Then in the afternoon, we'll have a chance at those mid-30s to around 40, thanks to a southeasterly wind bringing in some warmer air. Look at South Dakota. Looking pretty good there with Mobridge and places south towards Pierre and Chamberlain seeing 50s, while it stays in the 30-degree range and some upper 20s up north where the flakes will be flying as we work our way through the day. Woo, Jessica, thanks for your stars. Thanks to everybody for your support. Now, I'm not showing you the temperatures because I think I got flustered by all that was going on with my microphone. I apologize. Afternoon temperatures warming up in southeast North Dakota to the 30s and closer to 40 in the south. Low 30s up north. There will be an afternoon storm chance into Minnesota as we go through the afternoon with some slippery accumulations likely as we go through the onset of the event. If you missed it, here were the morning lows, and I don't think you got to see this. Coolest weather in North Dakota and the Red River Valley and points east, because we still have snow on the ground out to the east and a fair amount of it. But off to the west, temperatures for the morning hours will not be as cold because the clouds that you saw moving in on the satellite loop are moving in right now, and that's bringing a nice chance of some milder temperatures overnight. And you know, those milder temperatures may have an impact on that icing potential as well. Let me go back to my my radar map here, and I'm going to turn off our temperatures that are currently taking place so you can have a look-see at something that's kind of fun here. So this is Hutch's bonus coverage as we head into the evening. This is what you can count on from Hutch once in a while. How's our pattern going to change and what's going on for Easter? Let's first start with a look at that European model, and there are some changes on this. Let's go with the American model. There are some changes that we're monitoring, and this one illustrates some of them. The track of the low moving out of Colorado with this system will determine who gets the snow and where it lands. So we see this little system coming through here. That is the one on Friday, on Good Friday. Then after that, we'll see developing storm in the Rocky Mountains that works its way into Colorado, and as it moves onto the plains, we'll get a light batch of snow going through late Saturday night and into your Easter Sunday morning. So the best chance of Easter Sunday snow will be taking place across the western parts of South Dakota. And then as we slide through in time, the snow gets heavy across parts of central South Dakota with this system. So I will say that with this model's rendition, the best chance for some impacts in our area will be in our southernmost counties. So here's what it looks like zoomed into our area. We get through, here's your Sunday, Easter Sunday evening, and it spreads into the, eastern part of the Dakotas into southern Minnesota as we head into our Monday. So that's when our chances are the best for some inclement weather, to say the least, as we go through the holiday of Easter. So as we take a look at your forecast, the 7-day, and then I'll highlight some beyond the 7-day outlook. Here's what we're looking at. Temperatures near 38 degrees for Fargo. There'll be some rain and snow mix. We could have some freezing drizzle as we go through the mid-morning hours. Keep that in mind. And then we should warm up into the upper 30s after lows in the morning. We'll be in the 20s or around 20 degrees. 37 Saturday looks to be pretty good. A spotty mix can't be ruled out. Easter Sunday, warming it up with clouds building by the state line. Southern parts of North Dakota, particularly out west and out south of Bismarck, will have a chance at snow. For us, our chance will come to the far southern reaches of the valley on Monday. Hey, we begin the month of January, February, March, April. I think I called it May earlier. April 4th. So no April Fools on April Fool's Day. Does look like there'll be some fooling weather we'll be fooling around with as that system works its way through mainly South Dakota. Now, that's the last couple of model runs that have shown that South Dakota will get the brunt of the Easter Sunday, Monday, the 1st of April forecast snow. All right. Hi, Julie. Hey, Jen says heading to Dead Lake for Saturday. Should we leave Friday night or wait till Saturday morning? There'll be some snow showers in the area, but I think the impacts for some measurable snow will be north. So I don't think leaving Friday night will be a crippling trip at all. I don't think that at all. You could leave either. You may drive through a little bit more of the wintry conditions, though, if you were to leave on Friday night as opposed to Saturday morning. The system should be all but gone by Saturday morning. And I'm assuming you're talking about the Dead Lake in Lakes Country. So I know that there's multiple lakes with the same name, like Long Lake. There might be 100 Long Lakes in Minnesota. Okay, bonus coverage, and then we're going to wrap this thing up here as we take a look at this national map. I want to show you something. Let's talk climate, shall we? We talked about the next 7 days, but today the Climate Prediction Center gives us a little bit of an update on the outlook. Now, let's start with, whoopsies, that's not what I want to put up there, not the surface fronts. I want to put up the outlook for our weather leading into the 6 to 10 day time frame. So this is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Close this and get this out of your way so you can see. So temperature outlook the next 6 to 10 days, warmer than average weather's heading our way, colder for the coasts in the deep south. Now, what about precipitation the next 6 to 10 days? Wetter than average out west, drier than average out east. But there's a big shift coming. It starts in the 8 to 10 day range. The warmer weather starts shifting out. The cold weather moves in, but check this out. What about the month of April? That's right. Check it out. The month of April for temperature looks like this. The West Coast finally gets to see things warm up a bit after a very terrible wet pattern impacting from the Sierra Nevada with all of their snow into parts of the Pacific Northwest. And here in the Dakotas and Montana, a chance at some much milder weather. What does that mean for precipitation for the next month? Well, here's what they're thinking at the Climate Prediction Center. Where you see no lines, that means equal chances of being above or below. So about average for the month of April for precipitation. Wetter than average in the southeast, drier than average weather continues in West Texas, and the Great Lakes getting a little bit of a break, as well as a break in the Pacific Northwest. Now, remember, we've had wetter than average weather across the West Coast all the way since fall. So they're getting a nice, well-deserved break from some of this very active weather and a chance to enjoy some sunshine as well. That's a quick look at your forecast. Thank you so very much. And Jen says, yep, I got it. Lakes Country. Whether you leave Friday evening, you'll have a few flakes to drive through possibly. The greater impacts will be north of that Highway 10 corridor. Keep that in mind. All in all, we're looking to close this work week off on a good note. Have a wonderful night. Thank you all for your support. Remember my fine sponsors at Robert Gibb & Sons. They have their special going all the way until the end. Wow, I think that the email says April. I want to make sure that's through April. So through April, I think that's April 1. So get out there, and if you need an upgraded a furnace and air conditioning system, they are a premier Bryant dealer. So they will put in the highest quality system. And if you do it now, tell them Hutch sent you. They're going to throw in the water heater for free. Remember, any water heater older than 10 years can be a little suspicious, and you'll get the efficiency of a newer system as well. Call my friends at Robert Gibb & Sons. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you so very much for putting up with my technical difficulty of microphones tonight after a system restart. I appreciate you very much.